There was a 6-year-old girl who upset her father. The angered man smashed his fist against the wall when he saw that she had burned a hole through their stove. When his anger subsided, he realized she had powers. While a good father may have taken to trying to understand his daughter's new abilities, hers left her out in the cold, seemingly growing more and more distant as time went on. Her teachers and classmates became aware of her abilities, and mostly either made fun of her or feared her as they tried to stay away. The words she heard most often were freak and weirdo. There was a middle-aged man working at the school, and he was told of what she was. Maybe it was a childhood of seeing whites-only signs or fearing a cross would be burned in front of his home, but the man approached her with no fear. He became acquainted with her parents and arranged to help her with her schoolwork on the weekends. Suddenly, she had someone in her life that understood her, wanted her to succeed, didn't see her as an oddity or an other for something she couldn't control. This middle-aged man had a grandson, just a year old. As the years passed, the grandson and the girl became well acquainted, and he never saw her as anything but cool for her powers. When he got his own, the two would practice and compare their abilities. Everything seemed to be going well until the grandson made a discovery. The mansion the girl lived in had been obtained from threats, and all the wealth she had acquired was from robbery, these criminalities enabled by her powers. For the grandson, it was like the selfless, passionate older girl he had been smitten with had been replaced by a lying, self-centered wolf in sheep's clothing who only thought of herself. For the girl, it was like a betrayal. The boy she had spent more time with than almost anyone else had turned his back on her. The calls that he always answered now went unreturned, and the home she was always invited to no longer had occupants that sought her out. The now old man would eventually have another grandson, 12 years younger than the first and around the same age as she was when she first exhibited special abilities. The girl, now a woman, would see the boy as a sort of second chance at mentoring someone with the same affliction, her interest in him bordering on maternal. Though he similarly declined having anything to do with her once he found out her low regard for the normies, she was less bothered, believing that given his youth, his views were more open to changing than his older brother, that he would possibly come to her eventually. When the little brother asked what she thought of his older brother, she said, "He's a short-sighted, narrow-minded, inconsiderate fool!" When the old man asked his grandson what he thought of her, he slumped his head and said, "The version of her that only thinks of herself and breaks laws, I can't stand. The version of her that comes to see my grandparents, helped me with my powers, and advocates for others, I'm in love with."